I'm not sure if these are gonna work though. What's up YouTube? I'm back in the still standing garage, and today I'm working on the driver door on the 78 Monte here. I painted this car about 2 to 3 years ago, something like that, and I used a donor door. The original door is actually here on the stand, and the reason I didn't use the original door here was because when I first bought the car in 2004, I was trying to shave off the door handle and the lock area, and I made a mess out of it. I did a terrible job in fabrication, so I couldn't straighten it out, so I decided to go with a donor door. So the donor door still required a lot of body work, but it is what it is. It's already painted. The only thing is that now I have to go ahead and transfer everything out of the original door and put it into the donor door. So I went ahead already and I pretty much stripped the whole door, took the track out. The track is in need of cleaning, which is what I show in the beginning of the video here. But all I did to remove everything is I went ahead with the cutoff wheel on a grinder and I took off the heads of the rivets, and I went ahead and I punched them out, and they were able to come out no problem. I did mark where all my bolts were located just for reference, even though I'm gonna transfer it over to the other door. The other door has some markings, some old markings that I could probably use just for reference and just to start off to see how it aligns, and seeing what I need to adjust. This door is still good. I could probably fabricate it now that I have it, have a little bit more experience. I could probably straighten it out and just have it for whatever reason. I mean, maybe for this one, for the 79 over here, which is on standby. It's just sitting there. At least it's inside now. Here are the tracks all nice and clean. They're all dried up. After I hit them up with the Easy Off oven cleaner, I looked inside of the track and I noticed that there was a lot of dried up grease still in there. So I went in with a small screwdriver and started scraping that off. It took some time, but I was able to clean it up real nice. I want to make sure that those rollers roll in that track real nice and smooth. I do want to replace these rollers here. As you can see, this one right here, see how it has that flat area right there. The other one over here looks pretty round. It looks good. I still want to replace it anyways. And then there's a little one, a little baby one on the back here. Let me see if I can show you that one. You see that one right there? It's real small. And then there's another one right here. This one looks nice and round too. Doesn't look like it binds up. It's rolling nice and good there. And then I am planning on reusing or continue to use this old motor. It's the stock motor, so it's probably like 50 years old, but it's still good. I don't plan on replacing it right now. I am going to grease up all these areas here to make sure that they're nice and smooth. Clean that up too. And then I also want to grease up this area here, the little spring there. So I did order these rollers from gbodyparts.com. I actually got them off of eBay, but it's gbodyparts.com items. Bought them for like $26 with free shipping, but they're taking a very long time to get here. So what I ended up doing is I went and I bought these from Dorman. Here are the part numbers there. I'll still put a link in the description if you guys need those. I'm not sure if these are going to work though, so we're going to find out in this video. So I got these three right here. You can see that right there. It's the same size as these right here. That one, and then we got this one right here. And then here's the little one. This little baby one is the one that I showed you that's on this side right here. So I'll show you how all this gets put together, but right now I want to concentrate on replacing these. So I don't want to use the stem that comes with these. Let me see if I can show you. See that right there? I don't want to use those. I want to see if I could pop them out of this stem here and use what's riveted there already. See if I could show you that. You see how it's riveted from the back there? I don't want to take that out. I want to see if I could pop this one out and then put a new one. So we're going to find out in this video. We're going to find out if that's possible and then put them on, and then that way we all know already that these are going to be able to work. But let's find out. Let's see if we could pop off this little one here. I'm going to use one of my panel clip remover over here. See if I'll be able to pop this out without bending anything. I don't want to bend the little arm there. It didn't work. Let's see if we could grab it with some pliers here. There it is. That one broke. Well, see if we can push the other one in without a problem. That's how brittle they are. We'll clean this off. Let's open this package here. Drop it on the floor. I really want to see if they're the same size. It looks like it. This one is supposed to ride on this little bracket here. Oh, it looks like it moves freely. So let me pop it in there. I'm gonna dab a little bit of this super lube on there. I have a link in the description for this. This is what I'm gonna use on the tracks as well. So I'm gonna put some there so that way this can slide in there. Just put a little bit there. And then let's see if we can pop it in. Hopefully. Put this Milwaukee plastic piece. I'd rather break that plastic piece than bend the arm over here. Let me see if we could. One nice hit. I want to find out. And nope, it's not going in there. Hopefully this one doesn't break. There it is, it's in there. Let's see. I mean, as long as it slides back and forth, I think I'm good. There it is. And here's a part number for this one. And like I said, I'll put a link in the description for that, if you guys need that. Let's see if I could use this. Without bending anything. Ah, there it goes. Not bad at all. There it is. The old one. We'll clean up the grease on this one too. One thing I want to see is if I could take it off of the new ones. Off of these ones right here. One thing that I'm noticing too is that, let me see if I can show you. Here's a track that these ride on, right? So if I put it in here, they're it's kind of hard for them to go back and forth. You see how this one's moving? Let me throw on that new one. I think this new one, it's a little bit bigger than that one, but I think because it's new, it still slides in there. So I'm hoping that with some grease, it's gonna be all right. I mean, that's the hope. But we're gonna find out. I want to see if I could take off the wheel off of this one so I could put it in that one without breaking it. If I could take this thing off again. Let's see if with some vice grips I could actually grip the back of it. And plop it out. It looks like it's coming out. And there it is. It came out. It's the same size too. Same size as this one. That wasn't that bad. Gonna do the same thing on this one. Maybe I should have done that to this one, to the little baby one, as I should have put some in here. Put some in there like that. Put some on top of this one. And our Milwaukee spacer there. Or maybe let me see if I could just push it in without using the mallet. Yep, that one's a lot better. Yep, and this one rotates. Not bad at all. I'm happy with these. I'm glad I didn't have to drill out the old stud there. These right here. Because I'm seeing that you could drill those out and then you have to like mark an X on here and then hit them from the back and all kinds of things. I mean, it is what it is. I'd rather use the old school one. I mean the original one. Let's do the same thing with the other one over here. Pop this one out. Should be the same thing. Or spacer. Come on, let go. Been in there for 50 years. Let it go already. Look at me talking to this damn roller. There it goes. Hit the white wall over here. There it is right there. I don't think I put them together for you guys. But you can see how this white one is a little bit thicker. I mean, it looks about the same. I'm not sure if the color is making a difference, but there you go. Looks exactly the same when it comes to like that. Looks the same size this way. Just the thickness is what looks a little bit different. Let's see if I can pop this one out as easy as the other one. Same thing. Put it from the bottom. Get my vice grips. Try to get it as tight as possible. Put it back in. And then pull away. Not bad at all. There it is. Clean off the old one. Clean it off. Take off all that old grease. Put some new one in there. Same thing. Put some in there like so. Put a little bit more. Might be excessive, but I'm still gonna grease them up really good when they go in the track anyway. So I'd rather have them be nice and smooth and nice and greased up, so I don't have any issues later on. Same thing. Pop this one in. There it is. Let me see if I can rotate it. It has too much grease. There it goes. You see? Perfect. We're good. Moving on. So for this last one, I'm just gonna leave this stock one in there. See how it doesn't have any flat spots. It's nice and round. It looks good to me. So I'm just gonna re-grease it, top and bottom here. Put more grease in there. Rotate it until it works itself in there. This new one, I'm just gonna save it for another time. I could use it for anything else. If I don't fucking break it. So right now is a perfect time to clean out the door, right now that there's nothing in there. So I'm hitting it with the wire brush and a vacuum to clean out any debris that's at the very bottom. There's holes on the bottom of these doors. They're there to drain any water that might get in there. We don't want any water in there because then it starts rusting away at the door. I forgot to record what the driver's side looked like. So here's the passenger side. Pretty much look the same. All the debris is at the very bottom. Needs to be vacuumed out as well. Look at that track. That track needs to be taken out and re-greased. So as I was cleaning out the door, I realized that the wiring looked really nasty in here. So as you can see right here, how busted it looks. Everything's falling apart, looks real dirty, doesn't look tight. So I decided to remove it and add some new tape. I added some wiring harness tape, made a big difference. Damn, look how clean that steering wheel looks. I still have that chrome piece that goes in there. I need to install it. Lito Sanchez from Instagram sent me the piece. Still have to put that on. It's gonna dress up that steering wheel really good, finish it off. This is how the wiring turned out. Looks real nice, big difference. Now I can put everything back together and make it look real good, finish off the door. I use stainless steel hardware to install the regulator. I use 1/4-20 1/2-inch long bolts, and I also use nylon nuts. And the reason for the nylon nuts is for the vibration, so that way they don't walk out as the window's going up and down. Once I installed everything and I snug it all up, I went through the motion all the way up, all the way down. Then I realized that the back of the bolt was sticking out too far to the point where the arm of the regulators were pretty much hitting and they were binding up. So I decided to add stainless steel washers. These washers brought out the bolt probably like a 16 maybe, something like that. And that was enough to clear the arms. And I went through the motion again and then it was good to go. See right here, it's nice and clear. All right, now that the regulator is in there, now it's time to put this bracket. This bracket pretty much goes right here, obviously on the inside of the door. So this bracket actually slides in here. Let me see if I could do this with one hand. It goes in there like so. And then it helps keep the window straight as it's going up and down. So there's two ways to put this. So as you look at this track here, you see how this side over here on this side, on the left side of the screen, has a longer step, and then the other side has a real short step. So the one with the longer step goes facing the back of the car, because you could put it the other way too, but this is not the correct way. This could cause, if you put it the wrong way, it could cause the wheel to come out of this little track, and we don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna put this in there right now. Before I put it in, I'm gonna put a whole bunch of grease in here, and then I'm also gonna grease up the wheel. Another thing that I'm going to do, like I mentioned before, I'm gonna use the old indentations on the old door or on this new door. You can see that right there. You can see how this area is slotted, so there's room for adjustment. Same thing on this side over here, but there's indentations there of the old bolts, so I'm gonna use those same ones as reference, and then from there I'm gonna start adjusting as I need. Let's keep it moving. Now for the last two tracks, this one here is the one that actually goes on those two rollers, on this one here, and the one that's there. And the way that this one goes in there, it pretty much slides on those two rollers like this. And then this is what the window actually gets bolted onto. And this one pretty much goes inside of there, pretty much like this. I can do this one-handed, but it pretty much goes in there and it slides in there like this, like so. And then this one goes on the inside of the door like this, pretty much sideways, as you see here. So you can see where the markings are for the bolts. That's where this one's gonna go. I obviously need to grease everything up, put it in there. I'll show you right now how this goes in there. You guys could check that out. Time to put all the stops that go inside of the door. I got some of them laid out on the floor, and then I got this one in my hand. The one that looks like this, let me see if I could do a 360 here. There you go. This one right here goes right there, pretty much like this from the inside. And then this one right here, this one is the window stop. So this one goes like this on the inside, and then right here like this, pretty much like that. So you get an idea of how this one goes. It has a little rubber piece right here, and that's where the window sits. It pretty much stops there. So that one goes there. And then we got this one right here. This one was riveted on the door, so I had to grind it off, and so did they, the ones that stripped this door. So this one goes pretty much right here, and it goes on the inside like this. In there, I can't show you, but I'll put them in there. Pretty much looks like that. And then this one right here, this one that looks kind of rusted, I'm gonna try to clean it up. I think that's the color of it. It's another stop here. This one here goes right at the top right here, right there, pretty much like this, obviously with the bolt on this side, so it goes like this. So I got to put all these on there. I'm gonna throw them on there right now real quick, and then it's time to clean up the window. To make it easier to install the window, I'm going to remove the window sweep with the chrome piece here. It's only held down with 5 screws, so I'm gonna remove those. It's gonna open up this gap a little bit more to be able to stick it in there. So here's how the window is bolted onto the track. So you got a nut right there, one right there. Then you have the other one. Let me see if I can show you that one. Yeah, it's right there. And that's pretty much how it goes on the track there. So then on this side over here, on the back side, that's where this one gets installed. And this needs to be installed inside of the door. You can't leave it on there or else it won't fit. It won't fit on that gap right there. So I'm gonna put this one on there. I cleaned it up as best as I could. Cleaned up the whole rubber piece. So as the window rides up and down here, so it actually stops at the very top, which is this one right here. This is the stop. That's what prevents it from popping out. And also it's an adjustment, so that way you could adjust your window on the back side, whether it's tilted that way or this way. On the front side is your other stop. This one right here stops it from, you know, doing this. And those are the adjustments I'm gonna mess with as soon as I bolt all this on, put the sweeps on there, and then see how it looks with the new weather strip over here, because I did put new weather strip on the Monte here. So everything's brand new, roof row and all. It's looking real good. Get it nice and sealed up. So let me put this one right here on and then try it out. Now that the window's in, the sweep is back on, I'm gonna start putting on these sweeps right here. I'm gonna put them in there first and then I'm going to adjust them. And the way you adjust these sweeps is by raising the window, pushing the sweep into the window, and then tightening down. You don't want to push it too hard. You just want it snug. That was too tight. Way too tight. So after some troubleshooting, I was trying to figure out how to get rid of that noise. Even after adjusting the sweeps all the way back, it was still making a lot of noise. So I started thinking, what if I put the top piece of the door panel on and see if that actually helps it? And it actually does. Let me show you. Obviously this needs to be redone. I'm thinking of redoing the interior anyways. Now the sweep on the actual door panel here is pretty busted, but there's a metal piece that actually hooks onto the top two pieces of the sweeps. And let me show you. It goes up there real nice. Going down. You see how it reduces the noise there. So it actually helps us. So I'm wondering, once I put the new door panels on there, how much of a difference it's gonna make. So for right now, I mean, it's reduced it a lot, and I think it's the same thing on the passenger side. It's doing the same thing when I go up and down on the window. Actually, it's more when you're going down that it makes the noise. It's not when you're going up. And let me show you when I take this off. So now, this is with the door panel off, or at least the top part of it. You see how much more noise it makes. So like I said, that door panel is going to make a big difference. I'm actually thinking of going new. For right now, these old panels, I'm gonna clean them up. I'm gonna clean them up and probably use them like that for a bit. You can see this right here. Like I said, this sweep right here it's all messed up. They actually sell these brand new, even with the little chrome piece here. So I am planning on replacing them. Even on this one, I can still take them off of these if I do find some better ones. But for right now, these aren't ripped. They just are very dusty because of the painting on the Monte over here. So with the window all the way up, let's close it and see how it closes over here. See if it seals properly. Oh yeah, it's not closing. It's binding up. Looks like it's binding up in the front over here. It's touching the front of that seal first, right here. So that means the window needs to come back. So in order to adjust that part of the window, I might have to move this track right here. This track that goes up and down like this. Loosen up these bolts. move it back a little bit, and that should bring the window back slightly. So I'm gonna do a little bit at a time and then keep testing it until I get it right. So let me do that and I'll bring you guys back. All right, let's try that again after the adjustments, see where we're at. Nice and slow. It's not binding up. I think we can close it with a little bit more force. Took a couple of tries. Those seals are brand new, so it closed pretty good. It's not binding up anywhere as far as I could see. It's closed already. The only concern for me is this area right here. See if I can have this focus. You see the gap right there. You see if I could push it right there. You see that gap right there? So it's already adjusted to where it needs to be moving back. You can see the gap between the chrome piece and the window itself. You have the weather strip right there, right? And then you have that little gap up there. So I'm thinking with any water washing the car or whatever and is directly spraying this way, it will go in there. You'll have those little streaks right here coming down. I mean, it's better than the Regal. Look at the Regal over here. This has always been my problem right here. Washing the car or even rain, water would just come in here and just get in the car, and that will suck. Get my shoulder full of water over here. But right now, I mean, I guess it just needs to be molded. I mean, the window closed with the door closed all the way, and just keep using them until at least they get some wear and tear, because these seals, they're brand new, but they're hard. They're like super hard. I already hit them up with the heat gun to try to soften them up, but I think just with time, it's gonna actually help. Right now, everything's good. Now that that's settled, now I could clean the window again. I left all my fingerprints everywhere, so now it's time to put everything else on the door over here. Got the door handle, got the locking mechanism here, which this one has power window, so the power window piece goes on the inside. The actuator, the lock actuator, goes on the inside. And then I gotta figure out if I'm gonna rivet that in or if I'm gonna use hardware, that stainless steel hardware. One thing that I was thinking about too is all this right here, all this grinded area here. I do need to paint it because eventually I'm gonna put the door panels back on, and obviously the paper, I forgot what it's called, but it's a paper that goes here that protects the moisture getting onto your door panel to, you know, destroy it over here. So it's supposed to be there for protection, but that's not going to protect this right here because that's going to be bare metal. So I need to do some type of rust preventative thing there, maybe some primer, epoxy. I'm not sure yet. So even over here, should have done that before I put that hardware in there, but I didn't think about it until just in the middle of the day, just popped into my head and thought about it. It's time for the lock actuator. This car actually has power lock doors. So this one right here, the boot is really messed up. It still works. From when I took it off, it was still working. I was trying to replace these with some new ones, and they're like 90 bucks or 100 bucks, something like that. So I think I'll wait. So I'm gonna put these on right now, or this one on. This one actually goes right here where those two holes are, obviously from the inside. And then the rod here, let me see if I could grip it. So this rod right here, sounded wrong, but that rod right there goes through this hole up, and then it connects with the rest of the mechanism here, but I'll show you that in a bit. I am going to use some stainless steel hardware, pretty much the same thing, but the difference on this one is I'm going to use the stainless steel nuts here because I ran out of the nylon stainless steel nuts, and then some lock washers on the inside, and we should be good. So this is how these clips work. They are just slid on there, just on the tip there, and then the rod has a slot on it. You see that little groove right there? It has a little groove, and it barely goes inside of there, inside the hole, and then it goes pushed in, and the clip here is what goes inside of that slot. So you have to push it in. Takes a little force, but pretty much goes in there. You have to hit it pretty hard to get it in there, but that's pretty much how it works. It works the same way on the latch, and I'll show you where this hooks up to the latch. All right, now it's time to put it together. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna put this rod in. This is a rod that everybody uses to lock and unlock. It pretty much goes in through here like that, and then this one goes onto that one. That's the first step. And then we have this clip that we just leave it on there. We put it on just to the very tip of that, and then this one goes on that rod there. And then we use the back of a screwdriver to push it in. Not to bang it in there, but just to push it in, because try to do it with your thumb or your finger, it really messes up your fingers. Gotta be able to find that slot there. There you go, it's in there. It's clipped on, ready to go. And now we can push this inside of there. Now the back of this piece right here has a little tab on it, and that tab goes inside of this slot like that, and this goes in there. And I am planning on riveting this in there because I don't want to put any hardware on there. I don't see myself taking this off in the near future. Like the rest of the stuff, if anything happens, I could remove it easily. I don't want to drill all this stuff out. So that's good to go. I'll show you inside how that other one goes in. The rod mechanism is pretty much the same thing. Goes into a hole, and then the clips on there. All right, so let's put on this rod. I'll show you where it goes. Let me see if this thing doesn't fall apart. So this rod, let me lift it up higher. All right, so it goes into that one right there. Let me see if I could put it on while recording one-handed over here. So it goes into the hole there. If I get it in there. Let me see. Stick my hand in there. So I got the head in there. See the head right there. Gotta lift it a little bit and then slide that clip on there, and we're all set and ready to go. Then I'll rivet this in there in a bit. Let's keep it moving. Here are the rivets I'll be using for this piece right here. These are 3/16 for 3/16 holes. So this one will fit in there perfect. It's a nice little chrome on. Pretty much the same thing that was on there already before. So you just put the rivet inside of there. Put it in the hole. And then try to push and make sure that it's on there and squeeze it all the way out. And there it is. Took a little bit of force there. And now we're good to go. And that's how it works. Because this is a moving part, I am going to add some white lithium grease on here. I'm going to spray just a little bit in this area right here. Hopefully I don't make a mess of it. I don't have the straw for this thing, so spray it. Let me see. I don't want... Let me see. Just in the back. There it is. I'm going to dab off the excess here, because this could really get messy. And then run it through a few cycles here, and actually I should spray a little bit more as it's cycling. There you go. Dab it off. Just the excess. I don't want to take off too much because I need it to be in there lubricating. So and there it is. All right, it's time for the handle. This is the old one. I am replacing it with some new ones. I know I could clean this one up, but I bought some new ones anyways. Here are the new handles here. Here's a part number. I got these from eBay. I did get the left side and the right side, even though I'm not going to replace the right side, which is the passenger side. I'm gonna leave that one on there since it's riveted in and it's not broken, and there's no need for me to take it off. Here's a new one. Looks really good. I want to show you how the rod goes onto the door handle. Here's the old door handle here. So this one right here, so the door handle sits like that. This one right here pretty much goes inside of there. Hopefully it makes sense how I'm putting it in, because it kind of goes in upside down in a way. And it sits in there like this. That's how it goes on there like that, right? So this clip over here, this one right here, it goes right underneath where it meets up to the handle here, and then it clips up on top like that. And that's pretty much how it goes. But the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to put the rod, the back end of it. I'm gonna try to show you and see if I could demonstrate how this piece goes inside of the door over here. I'm gonna show you exactly where it goes inside the latch. Look at that, real nice. So before I rivet this into the door, I am gonna put on the rod, slip it into the rod, and then put on the clip. Like so, it's on there. And now we could pop it in. But you see how it doesn't fit on the bottom? You just have to squeeze these. I'll put it in the bottom first, and you squeeze it in. Pretty much what helps it stay on there too. So put it on there, and then we'll rivet this in there. Gotta put this clip over here, the little rubber piece, now that everything's clipped on. This one just goes inside of there, like so. Good to go. Grab the rivet gun. Use the same size rivets as I did for the lock mechanism. So I'm gonna do the bottom one first. Put this one in there. See if I can actually get it in there. I'm trying to push up against it. I don't want to hit the Regal over here. Mess up the paint on the Monte. The Regal needs a new paint job. So I'm trying to push it in because it is feeling kind of tough to hold it in. Let me see if it will actually grip it real good. There you go. That was hard because it's giving me a lot of tension coming out this way. So I have to push it in, try to hold it in there. Take out the old one, the one that just broke off. Put that one in there. There it is, same thing. Let's try it out. Money. Alright YouTube, it's been about 2 weeks. I left the windows up on both sides. I did go ahead and adjust the passenger side as well to be molded up to the seals over here. I could show you right here. Let me see if I can zoom in. So you see that right there? There's no more gap here all the way around. I did the same thing with the passenger side. It's looking really good. And then it's still closing kind of rough. If I open it up, you could kind of hear the stickiness of the weather seal with the window. Let me see. I can hear it a little bit. But yeah, but when I close it, if I close it, it doesn't close really good with the gentle push. It has to be pushed kind of hard. See how it stays open still? So it still needs some adjusting. I'm sorry, not adjusting. It needs some time to pretty much keep molding as, you know, it goes through the weather, hot, cold, and all that great stuff. And hopefully it softens up a little bit of that seal there. I finally got the rollers over here. I got them like 2 days after I put everything together. But and looking at these, they look pretty much the same. They don't look that bad. But I'm not sure if these are going to work out. I will never know that until I put them on. So I am probably going to put them on either the Regal, the other Monte, or the passenger side door on this one over here. So I'm not sure yet. The cool thing about this is every time they ship you something from gbodyparts.com, they send you one of these. So that's pretty cool. So I'll probably put it on one of these G-bodies over here that don't have anything on the key. I still need to remove the plugs from this door right here, the original door. It's only 3 of them. I tried looking for these online, see if I could buy some new ones, and nobody sells these. Nobody remakes these. At least I haven't found anybody that does. I've gone through eBay, gbodyparts.com, OPGI. I've done classic industries. Nobody sells them. So I'm gonna take these off here, clean them up, and put them on the donor door over here. So the whole purpose of this is to close up that hole, but you still have a small hole down there. You can see that right there, and that's where the water drains from. So these are really good. These are still intact, and the good thing about these, this is hard plastic, so it doesn't like crack and kind of how rubber does, like this crap here. So it's good to go. One thing I do want to show you is how fast the window goes up and down. So let's get to that. So let's put the key over here, put it like that. And then one thing is too that these seals here around the door are brand new, and every time, I don't know if you've noticed, every time I go down with the window, it brings these down too. I think these need some adjusting too, as in adjusting with the weather and all that stuff, and soften up a little bit, because it does it the same here in the front too. So let me see if I could show you how fast it goes down all in one shot. That's real nice. Look at that, how it goes up. And that's with everything being greased up and cleaned up and everything. And a lot of people I've seen G-bodies being updated with, like, I forgot what it is. I think it's like some type of device to just make it go faster, like both windows. And I think it's like $100 or something like that. So at least for the Monte here, I don't have to do any of that, because it goes down real nice. Look at that. Nice and fast, up and down. So that's good. The Regal goes real slow. And those, I've never cleaned them out before, so maybe they're due for some cleaning. I mean, same thing with that car. Has been around for over 40 years, so it needs to be cleaned out. I do need to do the passenger side, but let me show you how the passenger side goes down too. So let me go ahead and look at that. Real nice. See if I can bring it up. The one thing is, when it goes up right here, see how it goes kind of slow? And see how it barely gets to the top, and that's because that seal is very hard still. So one thing that I noticed too over here is that when I went down, it didn't make that noise anymore as it was earlier in the video. You hear that? No noise whatsoever. That's crazy. Let me do it one more time. Yeah, I guess I needed some time just to be closed, I guess. I don't know what it was. There it is. That's pretty much how all this gets put together. It's been a long video, but thank you for hanging in there. Let's keep it moving. G-body still standing. Let's go.